First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. That's the Epictetus blueprint. Define it and then repeat it every day. Epictetus didn't just drop wisdom for us to nod at. He taught philosophy as daily training, repetition, practice, not theory, not one-off insights, consistent action until it becomes who you are. So let's name this one clearly. Today's episode will be called Repetition is Strategy. Precision isn't glamorous. It's not shiny new tactics or viral hacks. It's repetitive, boringly, relentlessly repetitive. Dip back into Alex Hormozy here. I hear him talk about this all the time. It's the boring stuff that gets the work done. It's the boring stuff that drives revenue. It's the boring work. It's not the shiny, exciting stuff. It's the boring stuff. The same offer delivered the same way to the same kind of person, promising the same clear result, same message, core truth, same framing, same value stack. And you hammer that home again and again and again. Same activity. The one revenue lever we talked about last time, done daily, no exceptions. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they pivot too soon. You get 3 weeks in, they see slow results or no results, feel the discomfort of monotony and think, this isn't working. Time for something new. New funnel, new niche, new offer, new platform, reset, start over. What does that lead to? I want you to think about, and I'm gonna talk about something that I can relate to intimately. Weight loss. I spent most of my adult life at or above 350 pounds. At one point, I topped the scales at 372 pounds. I remember going in to a Weight Watchers office years ago and stepping on the scale, and I was 372 pounds. And I went, what? How on earth did I get here? Now, this is a whole other content platform worth of conversations about, one, how I got there, and two, how I left that behind. We're not going to go there, but the concepts are the same for building your business as they are for losing weight. Boring, repeatable, strategic, intentional. You have to do the work. You have to be smart about your nutrition. You have to get your exercise in. You have to get your steps in. You need to lift some weights. It's the same thing. In order to stay, to make consistent moves and consistent progress with your weight, you have to do those things. You have to watch what you eat. You probably need to track so that you know how much you're taking in. My wife hates tracking. Sorry, Robin. She hates tracking, and she's had great success without having to track. But here's a little secret. I tracked for her so that she wouldn't have to stress. So there was absolutely tracking involved, but she didn't have to do it. Oh, there's a point. You can hire somebody to take care of some of those things for you that you don't want to have to do for yourself. But you have to continually do the boring work. You can't constantly have, again, new funnel, new niche, new offer, new platform, reset, start over. That leads to zero momentum. When your momentum zeroes out, you don't have a strategy. You're chasing a dopamine hit. Real authority is not built in a sprint. It's built through repetition. You show up the same way, saying the same thing, solving the same problem for long enough that people start to trust that it's real. And pretty soon you have people that are paying you for that service, for that delivery, for showing up in the way that they see you consistently show up. Repetition builds skill. Your delivery gets tighter. Objections get easier to handle. And closing gets cleaner. Repetition builds trust. Your prospects see consistency and think, this guy isn't going anywhere. He really means it. Repetition builds authority because the market eventually rewards the person who didn't quit when it got boring. I have been doing this podcast since March of 2025. We are recording episode 241. Now, it's really more than that because we've had some special episodes sprinkle in, but 241. Now, it is Monday through Friday. It's not Saturday and Sunday, with the occasional exception. Episode 241. I have had one episode a day, Monday through Friday, since I want to say it was the last week of March last year. I would actually have to go back to the calendar and look. I don't have that. I don't remember. I don't have that memorized. But it's been almost a year of daily repetition. You'll notice on this podcast that sometimes I talk about some of the same concepts over and over again. And you're going to see that in everything you do, because it is the consistency that and the boringness, right? Not that content should be boring, because it can't be boring. If you want people to pay attention, you can't be boring. But when you want people to see you at your best delivery for your business, be boring. Repetitive, boring tactics, solving problems, knowing what your offer is, knowing what you solve and who you solve it for, and what result they're going to get. You don't need a new strategy every month. You need the discipline to execute the one that you already chose, and you need to do it long enough for it to compound. Precision becomes power when it's repeated. So look at what you defined last week, right? Look at what you defined this week, if it was this week. Whenever you defined it, it was last year, last month. I don't care. Okay. In this week, when we talked about defining your win, look at what you defined: the win, the offer, the one revenue activity. And now ask yourself, am I doing it today? Am I doing it again tomorrow? And the day after? And the week after that? No flair, no fanfare, just the work again and again and again. That is not grinding. I know that's what, business bros like to call it. We're grinding. I get it. You can call it that if you want. But as a Stoic, they would call it training. It's not grinding, it's training. It's how Epictetus turns slaves into free men. It's how you turn vague ambition into real results. Do it today, you do it tomorrow, you do it the day after that, week in, week out, month in, month out, until you get where you want to go. Apparently, I'm on a soapbox, and it's okay, because I have a podcast where I'm talking about this stuff. This is my soapbox. If you live in California and you want to get to Florida by car, you're going to drive yourself. You can't start the engine and then turn it off, and start the engine and then turn it off and expect to get there. You can't leave your driveway, drive to the end of the street, go back to your driveway, pull back in, start your car, pull out of the driveway, drive to the end of the street, go back to the drive. Okay. You see what I'm saying? You can't do that. You need to make a map. You need to know, pull it up on, Google Maps, and know exactly where your destination is. That needs to be painted clearly in your mind. You need to know your outcome. Tony Robbins talks about this. Know your outcome. What is the outcome of the activity today? Is it, 20 cold calls? Is it 100 emails that I'm sending today? Is it 50 LinkedIn messages that I'm sending today? Your business is going to be filled with rejection. It's like online dating. There is no colder platform, no swifter rejection than online dating. Believe me, been there and done that. It's the way it is. There's no way around it. The rejection is going to be immediate. I once had a woman, and I kind of hope she's listening to this. I once had a woman ask me, why are you reaching out to me? Online dating. How do you get told no without actually being told, ew, go away, leave me alone? I mean, that's pretty much what she said, right? Ew, go away, leave me alone. You're going to face a lot of rejection. It's going to hurt. It's going to be hard. You work through it with disciplined reps, with exercise that you do every single day. It's boring. It's not fun. It hurts. It's painful. It's tiring. And you get to the end of the day and you go to sleep knowing that you've done everything you can do. And then you get up and you do it again the next day, because you have goals. You have things that you're trying to accomplish. Reach for them. Nobody is going to give them to you. Nobody's going to just hand them to you. You have to reach for them. You have to want them more than you maybe want anything else. You have to want it. And then you have to do the reps to get it. You can't just want it. You have to do the work. You can't continually start the engine, turn it off, and wonder why I'm not getting anywhere. You can't keep going to the end of the street and coming back and wondering why I'm not at my destination. And that's exactly what you're doing when you jump to the next offer, the thing that seems less boring. Epictetus said, remember, first say to yourself what you would be. What is that? Define your goal. First say to yourself what you would be. Define your goal. What's your goal? Specific goal, revenue goal. Give it a number. Pick a number and pick a date that you want that number for your revenue goal. First, say to yourself what you would be. You can apply that to any aspect of your life and your goals. And then do what you have to do. First, say to yourself what you would be. and then do what you have to do. And so if that is sales calls, if it's LinkedIn outreach, if it's cold emails, if it's showing up in the office before your boss and making sure that you are doing the things that they need you to do, that you're trying to solve their problems, solve your boss's problems, you have to show up and you do it day in and day out. If you're trying to lose 50 pounds at the gym at least 3 days a week and walk all 7 days a week, I don't care what anybody says, get those 10,000 freaking steps in. That is not necessarily a scientific number, but you know what it is? It's a good goal. It's a good focus point. If you can't do 10,000, do 8,000. You can't do 8,000, do 6,000 until you can do 8,000. And then you do those until you can do 10,000. That's what you do. Be disciplined about your nutrition. If you need medication, you know what's modern miracle medication today? The GLP-1 stuff. Tirzepatide is amazing. And that's not the only one that's amazing, but there are so many options today. And yeah, they're expensive, but they work. All right, I'm way off course here. The point is you have to show up and you have to do it. I saw a Gary Vee video. And I don't watch all of Gary Vee's stuff. He said a couple of things recently that really resonated with me. And so maybe I need to pay more attention to his stuff. But he said something about content. He's like, you need to post how often do you post? Every day. You need to post every day. Sometimes you need to post like 3 times a day. You need to go live on social media for 30 minutes every day. How many of you who are trying to be content creators are going live on social media for 30 minutes every day? I'm not. I may have to figure out how to start that. Right now, it's not in my plan, but I have a plan and I know what I'm trying to accomplish. Do the work. Do the work. It's training. There's no glory. It's all about you and your focus. You can do this. Do it today. Do it again tomorrow, and again tomorrow, and again tomorrow, and again tomorrow. And let's get there together. I'll see you next time. Let's go.